All right, gonna be a really short one today. I've literally put off buying one of these for like 3 or 4 years because I just hear they all break. So I was wondering if anyone has experience with the Forester bar rail closer. I understand, I think it was Sylvie Navy used to make one, and this is a rip-off of that. Funny thing, the bolt was taped to the back of this. Instructions are in here, but a couple things. First of all, I want feedback from you all if anyone has used one of these, what your experience has been. If you have broken it, what do you think caused it? A couple interesting notes I see here. First of all, doesn't match the instructions. This is a depth gauge bolt. It's the opposite side of what was on the written instructions. I have access to a welder, so if I strip something out, I will attempt to fix it. But couple things I wanted to point out. First of all, on this, and you're not going to be able to probably read this, but it says, when done correctly, a new chain. So obviously if you're using an older chain that has some wear, you're going to have some slop. So everything in here says you need to check it with a new chain. So that is what I will do. I have a couple bars that are older, and I've been using my electric bar grinder to even them out, but I really want to try this out to see if I can squeeze them together. What I had been doing is using some pieces of metal to try and get to the gauge of the chain, and then I've been using a large hammer to try and close the rails, and it's just inconsistent. You get spots that are pinched a little too tight, you get spots where you didn't get them together at all. So once again, there are instructions here. Once again, that depth thing was on the wrong side. It does not fit that way. It's not a long enough bolt to fit through that. You only do the middle sections. You avoid the nose. You avoid where the bar attaches to the saw. So again, a couple things they note in here is, everything is a new chain, should fit snugly. Couple other interesting things. For perfect results, use a new chain every time a bar is reconditioned. So I don't know if they're just setting expectations that this thing is not, gonna close it a ton, right? It's just gonna maybe move it a little bit. So, I think most people that have broken these have over tightened, so I'm gonna be very cautious, but I am not gonna baby this, and we will see what happens. They want you to, remove any burrs before you use this. So we will see. I am not optimistic, but like I said, if I break it, I can probably fix it and make something better. Or maybe I think most people that are breaking it are either breaking the bearings because they're putting too much pressure on it, or they're stripping this thing out. So I could probably weld a nut and go to like a larger bolt or something and enlarge this. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on how this thing works. I've got 2 or 3 bars that need it pretty bad. It just happens with hardwood. If you're cutting pine and soft stuff, you're not probably going to have as much of a problem as someone like me who's cutting oak and cherry and ash, hickory, stuff that's really hard. And it's just a matter of time before the chain starts moving a little bit left or right. And you really notice it when you're when I'm doing the depth gauges. You really notice that the chain starts moving quite a bit. So like I said, please put your feedback below if you have used this. I'd like to know if you've had good success, if you've had bad results. If you have broken one, what were you doing when it broke? mean, the weld looks okay. They didn't bother to weld the back, but I don't think that's the part that's breaking. Like I said, I think most people I hear about have either broken a bearing or have stripped this out here, because it's not a very aggressive thread. So we will see. Thank you very much.